All right, we are back, and we're ready to, I guess, interrogate these guys. You guys had a question for Ragik, though. I believe you
Uh,
said.
yes. What did the illicit have clones? The fake ones with them.
Uh, I translate that for Ragik.
So basically, you're asking if these.
Tentacles.
Yeah,
I asked him whether the tentacled ones had creatures like that.
He shakes his head and says, "No, the thing we escaped did not."
Okay.
Phew.
So I asked Ragik, based on our discussion before our break, I asked Ragik, these people, could they belong to a different tribe? Or these creatures?
No, they aren't. They are of my tribe, although they won't be if I regain the throne. Again, the word he uses for throne is not actually throne. It's just a helm, leadership, that kind of thing.
My position.
Yeah.
Just alpha pack leader, whatever.
Yeah.
So you're saying they belong to your tribe, but they are not real.
Correct.
And you'll probably, the way you sound, it sounds like you'll kill them if you regain your leadership.
Well, that's his business, I guess.
That's his business. We have no say in the matter.
Well,
I'm just
no, I mean,
asking. That's a question. That's not in any way an attack or anything.
He seems reluctant to give you a solid answer, and you're not sure that he's entirely made up his mind yet either.
Okay.
But he says that will depend on them.
I tell him that we are not clear with what he means with not real, which is why I'm asking all these questions, because we are trying to get a clearer understanding of what this means to him. I'm not trying to attack him in any way, and he can do with them whatever he wants once he regains leadership. We're just trying to understand.
He nods slowly and says, I don't know how else to put it. I'm not entirely sure what they are either, but they aren't real.
Let's just
smell
say
it
they're
on
clones
them.
for now.
Do we have anybody with a good nose?
Higgimus, maybe?
No.
No one who has a better nose than he, and no one who has a better nose than standard human smell capabilities, so.
Hippo
Even
don't
the
have
Giff?
good nose.
How is Higgimus's nose and sense of smelling?
Basically the same equivalent of a human.
It's big.
You don't
Yeah,
want
not
your
like-
hands near it.
I'm not like a minotaur or anything like that.
Unless it's a tasty piece of bamboo or something, he's not gonna know the difference. It's all the same to him.
So would we actually smell anything if we smell on them?
You're not familiar enough with his people to know one way or the other.
Okay. So I turn around to him again, to Ragok, and ask him, what exactly makes you recognize these not real creatures? I see you smell them, but you seem to be listening to them too.
He seems to think for a moment, trying to figure out how best to describe it. He's aware that none of you can hear or smell the same as he can, as well as he can. And then he says, the smell is the same. The sounds are the same. They are as one. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's just wrong.
So even like their heartbeats and scent are exactly the same. You mean? I say having her translate.
Our whole being's the same, basically.
Are
that-
they born the same way as as you are?
Were you gonna ask what Xanfyr asked as well?
I'm asking what Xanfyr asked as well. Yes.
Okay. He confirms that that their hearts beat the same. But to your question about whether they're born the same, he shakes his head and says, "I don't know. I don't know what they are. They're
I
just
would imagine
raw."
each member of his normal tribe are unique to each other, not exact copies.
So what we seem to have seen on the first two, that they look like twins, that would sort of what's the word? That would correspond with what he said, that they're all the same.
That would confirm that they're probably clones or something.
Do we know about
We
clones?
don't-
Not much.
We would know. I don't think we would know what a clone is.
Well, he said that the spellcasters would know that there are advanced spells that can make clones.
Well, yeah, but you know that there are advanced spells that can duplicate things. I'll put it that way. You don't know the term clone.
Okay.
I mean, the spell clone is, number one, it's a 6th level spell.
So we can at least say we know that there's some kind of duplicates.
Did we
Yeah.
lose Braxon? I think we might have. It might be rebooting
No,
his
he's
machine.
muted.
No, I'm still here, but my browser crashed.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
I'm trying to restart my browser while you're
Okay.
doing this.
No problem. I just noticed you dropped out of Roll20. That's fine. Just wanted to.
I'm gonna run off a sec to go check the toaster oven. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ding.
But yeah, so I mean, you know that there are high-level, powerful magics that can duplicate objects and creatures, but the term clone isn't a term that you would be familiar with.
So we sort of think that the first two were twins. We don't know about these yet. So let's check them up and talk to them.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I asked Gregor whether he's happy with
Separate them.
doing the good cop, bad cop routine.
I assume you're trying to describe, one person is nice and the other person is mean, as opposed to good cop, bad cop. He doesn't seem to get the idea of one person being nice and one person being mean.
Mm.
Okay.
Now, did anyone want to actually examine them real closely? Braxon tried to, and he failed. Was
I
anyone
can
else?
try.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
Okay, it has to be below 18.
It has to lower is better. I'll put it that way. Okay.
It's way below mine.
The one who is pinned is clearly different from the other three, but the other three, near as you can tell, do appear to be identical to each other.
I point to the pinned one. That one is different from the others.
That's interesting because Raguk said that they're all the same, didn't he?
Yes, but he looks different from the others. So
Okay.
he's not an exact copy.
I suggest we start talking to him then.
All right. Well, we separate the two survivors.
Oh, is the other one still unconscious?
Yeah, he's still unconscious. He's going to be unconscious for a while unless you try to wake him up.
I say we tie him up so he doesn't wake up and start attacking us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've got rope.
Okay.
Actually, let's use the cave stuff, the weird spindle thing.
That's what
It'd be
Higgimus
funny.
suggested.
Yeah, we'll use that.
Did you want to move? Well,
You won't be able to undo it once you do it because we haven't got the blood.
no. The blood removed the adhesive.
The Iker. Yeah, he's.
But keep in mind that these are very fine filaments. I mean, it would be like tying someone up with fishing wire.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
You casting up to shreds.
Then let's use normal rope.
Yeah, how much rope have we used as a grand total? 2 at the entrance, 2 going down. So that's 4 rope. How much rope did we have altogether?
We might be out.
Yeah, I think you might be out.
The dwarf had rope, I had rope, Higgimus had rope, and Braxon had rope, unless someone else has got rope.
Braxon's
I
not
don't think
chopping
we've
it.
used. I don't think we've used the magic rope yet.
But
No,
yeah, we
that's
might
4
still have the
rope,
magic
though.
rope.
Yeah, but wasn't Braxton's rope the magic rope?
Yeah, Braxton's got the magic rope.
And didn't you use that to get down to this area?
Yeah, you used
No,
your rope
we
with mine.
used 2 of the other ropes to get down to the area.
How?
From what I described, it sounded like we had 5 pieces of rope.
I think we had 5. And
Who's
so
got
we
the
still
5th
have the
piece,
magic
then?
rope.
Yeah. Who's
Oh, you
got
got
the fifth piece?
magic and normal rope.
So I think we're good. We still have
Well-
that magic rope that we can use.
Well, I need confirmation on that.
I've got a silk rope, and I believe I used mine on the second level down.
Okay. And I'm pretty sure that Higgimus used one of his on the way down from the temple where the ghouls were.
Yeah.
I don't remember where Urgoth used his, but I know he used his.
So that's
Well,
3 so far.
When we came down the bit where the staircase was gone above here, 2 other people said they were using ropes. So I don't know if someone's accidentally
Unless
used.
we got more than
used
4
hanging
ropes,
All right.
we haven't got rope.
All right, go through. Please check your inventories and let me know who has rope. Because if it totals up to 5 sets of rope, then you've got rope. If it totals up to 4 sets, you don't have rope.
Braxton's got the magic rope. That's all he's got.
Okay.
I don't have any rope.
I don't have any rope.
I have 1 silk rope.
The NPC has 1 piece of rope.
Yeah, so that's 3.
I don't have any rope.
Does somebody have rope and didn't write it? Thought they had rope and didn't?
Higgins has 1 thing of rope.
Okay, then you're out of rope.
Right. So Braxton must have used his rope on the second
Yep.
drop.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Great.
Now, I mean, you
So
could
now
still
we have to use the fishing line.
you could have people sit on the unconscious one, or I mean, he's unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I could just grab some of the rags from the other piece that's a crude, just tear a piece up and use it as like a crude tie.
I could break his arms and legs.
Well, I mean, you've
so
got
we
the
wanna
one guy
separate
pinned right
them.
now, and you got the other guy who's unconscious.
So Higgimus has to let go of the one where he's sitting on anyway, so he can take care of the now unconscious one, and we others take over the looking after the one that's awake.
Might as well just chat him up. See what he says.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we first ask him whether he speaks common, so we can all talk to him.
You're asking him in common?
No,
Okay.
I ask him in undercommon.
Okay.
Well, no, I would say just say something in common and see if he understands. A lot easier.
Well, when you talk to him in undercommon, he doesn't respond.
All right. Let's ask him in common then.
He doesn't respond to that either. Rogek speaks up in a language you're not familiar with, and the creature looks at him and nods. Rogek turns to you and says, "He doesn't speak the language of the tentacled one."
Mm,
Well, can you ask him a few questions?
Do I have any language that he speaks?
Nope,
Okay.
none of you do.
Right. So we're going
That's their
to.
to out of character that he only speaks their native language.
All right. So we are going through double translation. Everybody be aware we're going through double translation. That's going to be fun.
Oh,
That's going to be
great.
so much fun. Because we know how well that works with Google Translate.
Oh my God. Yes.
It'll be like that telephone game.
Yes.
Or those I've seen some people who take songs and want them to Google Translate it through several different languages and then back to English, and it's so fucking weird.
All right, so yeah, you're gonna have to talk through Rogek basically.
Ragok, would you translate for me, for us?
Of course.
Thank you.
Ask how many of them are there, and
Yes. Would you ask? Would you ask him how many of them there are?
Rogek turns to the. Well, first of all, you've let the guy up. Higgimus is keeping a hold of the unconscious one. Did you just like prop him up into a sitting position kind of thing?
yep.
Rogek looks down at him and starts speaking. It's a very harsh and guttural language. And as far as you can tell, it sounds very angry. That would be your guess. Very confrontational. The words coming back at him from your captive are much the same, challenging almost. Rogek turns back to you and says, I'm pretty sure he's lying, but he says there are hundreds.
Hundreds.
There were certainly
Did they
not
try-
that many when we escaped from the tentacled one.
I'm not really in. I'm gonna back away and say, I'm not gonna be involved in this. You do what you want to get him to talk. I am out,
Oh, great.
and I leave.
You're actually leaving?
Well, I'm
Jesus
leaving
Christ.
back. I'm gonna stand like over here.
Leaning against the wall, just observing
Okay.
the area.
I'm not gonna watch. I'm just gonna be out of the way because I do not support this sort of thing.
What don't you support?
He's
There's
a
only
civil
one way you're gonna get him
body.
to talk, and I'm not gonna participate.
He's basically saying that he's not going to be party to torture.
Yeah,
Well,
Xanfyr is
talking
probably
about-
not going to be part of the torture either.
Oh, are you guys torturing him?
No, that
No,
hasn't come up
I'm
yet.
Oh, okay.
I see no reason to torture him. I mean, we haven't
I'm just
even
saying to
started
get to
really
there.
to ask him questions. So who is talking about torture?
Nobody yet, but it's probably gonna come up.
No, I was pointing out that out of character. That's what Yeldin's getting at, because there was a pretty clear question of what Yeldin was talking about there.
I think
gonna
most
take.
of us are good people, so
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna take all my stuff out my backpack and look like I'm reorganizing it, but I'm gonna make sure he gets a good view of what I've got.
But he can't see.
He's blind.
Oh, great.
You can hear though.
Ugh. Yeah,
Even
but that's not
sitting
the
up, he
same.
can't see.
Why'd you spoil my fun? Just great. Oh, great chisel along the ground. That didn't do nothing.
You can unpack your pack and make lots of noise while you're doing it, but I'm not.
I could always start cutting up one of the corpses. That isn't morbid at all.
Are you sure you're not evil?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not doing it.
Do you guys have another question that you want Rogek to ask?
Are they working for the squid thingy? The lithid?
I'm sorry.
Asking if they're working for the lithid thingy.
The
or
tentacle.
if they know about it.
Are they? I asked Ragok to ask the other guy to whether they are working for the tentacle ones. One, singular.
Ragak turns back and relays. Ragak raises an eyebrow and says to you first, I would be very surprised if they are. I will ask. He turns back and relays the question, receives his answer, and then turns back to you and says, surprisingly, he says yes. I don't believe him.
Well, that explains a lot.
So I asked
Ask him about the duplicate.
guy what
Why they look the same.
what he was tasked with, what his actual job was meant to be.
Okay, which one do you want to ask? There
Since I
was your
started
question,
first,
Yeldin's question.
Huh?
There was your question, Yeldin's question.
In the end, I want to ask both.
Okay. Yeldin, I'm sorry, what was the question again?
Ask him about the clone, the duplicate thing.
Okay. I'll have Leva's question answered first. Ragak translates back for you that he says that they were put on guard duty for intruders, and he does believe that. To the other question, Ragak says, I don't understand exactly what he's saying. He says that they're all the children. I don't understand his meaning.
Maybe they were created by the Lithids?
What do we know about illicits? I mean, in our group, not outside the
Keep
game.
yourself.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I know next to nothing.
Who was the person who succeeded on? It was you, wasn't it, Lava, who succeeded on the intelligence check to know something about him?
Well, first of all, Leva, Higgimus, and Braxon are the ones who might know information about Illithids, being more familiar with their presence in space. Urgoth as well might know something.
Well, Leva knows that they do mind control.
Braxon knows they've got an embassy on Brow.
And you would also know that they are slavers, and although not on Brawl, at least not openly, and that they eat brains.
Yep.
And Leva also knows that they have special language that's mostly let's call it non-verbal, non-audible.
Non-verbal, probably.
Yeah. Braxton's going to turn to Urgoth and say, well, if there really is an army of hundreds working for the Lithids hidden down in the Underbral, I think Prince Andrew's possibly going to pay us to come down here with an army.
I go, Prince who?
Prince Andrew. He's the owner of Brow.
Wait, Growl
I
has
look at him and remember he said that he's pretty sure he's lying about the hundreds.
Yeah, Urgoth shakes his head and says, there's no way.
I turned to Riker and I asked him to ask the other one whether there's still only one tentacled around or whether there are now more.
Ragak turns back to the captive, relays a question, gets a very short answer, and turns back to you and says, he says there is only one.
Okay. There's still just one.
And they may or may not be working together at this point.
Who they?
The
These
guys
creatures in the tentacle one?
Because Ragad, remember he said he doesn't think that's true. So there's that.
He doesn't think
The
True.
He doesn't think that they're working with the tentacle ones.
No, he doesn't
Yeah.
think that there are hundreds of them.
No, he
He also-
doesn't think. He said both of them. He doesn't think are true.
Okay.
You can ask him why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I asked him why he thinks that.
This cavern, I wasn't able to stay here long enough to get a good overview of it, but there's no way it could hold that many.
What's to sustain them? Food
And
wise.
and
Right.
what makes you believe that these guys are not working for the tentacle one?
Because I freed them from thraldom. They wouldn't go back, even after exiling me.
Unless they don't.
You freed your tribe, didn't you?
Yes.
But these guys, were they among the people you freed?
Not exactly.
Anyways, let's
Answer
keep...
clear. Ask again later.
Yeah.
Not
I think
exactly.
we should ask the other one and see if we get different answers. The other one.
Do you trust
Yeah.
Rabbit?
Yeah, I think we should try talking to the other one.
All right, let's ask the other one.
Wake him up.
Levi, you said something about trusting Ragek. Were you asking the rest of the group?
I was asking the rest of the group, yes.
Uh,
Where do we trust
Yeah,
Rabbit to translate properly?
he has no reason to lie.
Well, yes, he does. If an answer is not what he'd like it to be, then there's nothing that keeps him from adjusting it to something that he'd like.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, he knows that he's at a severe disadvantage if he does fuck up. So it's really in his best interest not to right now. Hello?
Yeah. I'm waiting for you guys to discuss this more.
I'm
I'm
not
thinking
sure
it
what
through.
to add.
I'm just thinking it through, what we know and what we need to know.
Well, at the moment, we've got no reason to disbelieve him or believe him. We're kind of on like neutral ground, where we're favouring more to trusting him than not trusting him so far,
Yes.
based on actions.
If you really want to, refer to your alignment.
I don't really
What-
trust him because I'm not exactly sure if he's trustworthy in the first place.
Or as a party whole or group, we probably have a slightly condescending attitude towards him because we probably think he's slightly tribal or primitive. Because obviously, it's not, it's like a culture thing. I don't know how to describe it.
I'm still keeping
No,
an eye.
Labor
I don't think you could say that.
Yeah, not all of us would
Not
be.
for everyone.
No,
As far as
I
Braxon's
wasn't.
concerned,
to do with different races than to think anyone is better or worse.
Yeah, but keep in mind that the idea of barbarians and less advanced tribal groups is
That's
a
fair.
pretty common thing in a Dungeons and Dragons fantasy setting. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I just think I don't think my character would, because even though he was raised in a village of elves, which I believe they usually kind of take that attitude to anybody who's not elves, one, it was wiped out. Two, he has been living by himself for a number of years in wilderness.
all right,
Mhm.
all right. Let me put it this way. What do you guys think? What would your characters think of orcs or hobgoblins or goblins?
I'm not
Higgimus
exactly-
looks down on those races that you just named there,
There's a
and
pretty
distrusts them and doesn't like them.
there's a pretty good chance that your characters would be very likely to see Rogak and his people in a similar light.
That's
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah.
trying to portray. I'm not trying to.
I was more like, my character would probably be like, well, as long as they're not hostile, I don't really care as much.
My character
Leva
is
is
not-
more emotional about it because she grew up as a slave, and she had a lot to do on orders from her boss from her from her owner. She had a lot to deal with other races. I don't think she bat an eye at people like Ragak.
well,
Yeah, it's different experiences.
Well, Xanfyr doesn't really trust him at all. Like, he's keeping he kind of keeps an eye on him, just waiting for the moment he tries to backstab them. He doesn't really even really trust the party that much either. He just trusts him enough to not let him get killed.
I have an idea, and that is, I turn to the group and I say, we know that illithids, or the tentacle ones, they mind control their slaves and their thralls, or whatever you want to call them. Is there a way that you can think of that we can figure out whether this one here is mind controlled or not?
They generally deal with, I wouldn't know that. Never mind. Never mind.
Why don't we just tie these guys up?
We
Move
don't have
them.
rope.
Yeah, let's.
Well, I guess
If
we
we
can
took
use
them-
the rags to do it. We can use the
If we
rags.
took them, back upstairs where we killed some stuff, there's things up there. There's people we killed. We might be able to use clothing and stuff to tie them up.
Well, they have rags, right, Ald?
Yeah, but they are just rags.
Yeah, and there's not much of them. Think
We
along
could
the
try
lines
using the
of
rags.
loincloth type rags. Little more
Well,
than that.
how about this? We just knock him out. We just basically zero his hit points, and then we move on.
That would be considered evil because you're attacking a helpless victim.
Higgimus,
No,
could
you're
you
not
pack
killing them.
We're
If
not
you're-
killing him. We're
yeah.
just knocking them out.
Higgimus, could you
There's
pack them into your backpack?
Comic relief there.
No, Leva, I don't want them in my backpack. You know what? It could turn out that Ratgar here is the bad guy. If he is, we'll kill him. If it turns out that these things here are being controlled by an illithid, we'll kill the illithid, take its skull as a prize trophy, and hang it from
Do
our
they have skulls?
and hang it from our
Snakes or
ship.
cuttlefish?
Lafdul promises not to steal it. Inverted commas.
Give me a second.
But to be clear, there is nothing evil about knocking a creature unconscious.
Yeah.
It just makes it basically putting them down to 0 hit points and knocking them out.
I mean, one
Well,
of them's
it's
unconscious
subdual
right now,
damage.
so...
Yeah.
Let's
Uh,
knock the other one out and move on.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to assume that Higgimus is going to do that because it wouldn't take too much for him to, punch him in the jaw
Yep.
and knock him out.
Don't kill
Either
them.
that or do the chokehold on him.
Yeah, chokehold would work too.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, punch him. It's...
Yeah, that works.
All right. Higgimus socks the conscious one in the jaw, and it just slumps over.
Crumples.
Rogek looks at you and says, "You're just going to leave them?"
They're not going to be getting up anytime soon.
I ask Ragak, what would you do? Shall we take him with, or what would you do? What do you propose?
He holds up his sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was obvious.
Yeah. Once they've don't have the fighting spirit in them anymore, then I don't really feel comfortable just outing them like that.
Oh, they're not a
If they
threat
come at us
anymore.
later, they're going to be in a weakened state and they'll just be killed later.
I turn to Ragok and I say, we are not in the habit of killing people who can't defend themselves. Otherwise, we would have attacked you.
He chuckles at that
Oh.
and says, "Fair enough."
And then he stabs him
And-
anyway.
He
No.
might, if he like, he might lay behind you and kill him out when we're
If
not paying
you've
attention.
if you've made
but
it clear that
we're
you
not-
don't want them killed, he won't do that in front of you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's
So
fine. But I don't.
as soon as we leave, he probably kills him, but we don't know that.
Well, we already
He's with us.
established as a group that that once he's back in his leadership role, he can do whatever he wants to his people, and if they belong to his people, then he can do whatever he wants to them.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Mhm.
that. Whatever. Can we push on?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah,
We've been
let's-
standing here for a
let's
long
keep
time.
going.
Okay.
I want to finish this dungeon.
I want to finish it at least today or in the next month.
All right. Are you going to continue to do searching for traps, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'd assume so.
Well, it's
Yeah,
up
we
to
don't
you.
want
Yeah.
another
Yep.
nasty
Yeah.
rock surprise.
Rocky surprise.
These guys are going to wake up at some point, so
Yeah.
we're going to need to move a bit faster.
We can take their weapons from them.
They
have
were
no
unarmed.
weapons.
I thought they had axes.
No, that was the
No,
first
they
two
had
guys.
fists.
Oh,
These four just had fists.
okay.
Okay. Do you? I mean, you can forego searching for traps if you want.
No,
No,
let's
let's speed up.
search the
We've
trap.
done that.
They're
We've-
gonna wake up, so we need to decide what to do with them if we're gonna search traps.
Let's
We've
just,
already knocked them out.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll tie their legs with the fishing line thing. If it's just their legs, then it's not nearly as bad as like
It's
tying their
not-
wrists
it doesn't-
together or something.
Yeah, they're gonna undo it with their hands.
Well, tie their arms to their sides too. Just, I don't care.
Yeah, I suppose it's up to them if they want to.
I mean, they'll be
Figure
unconscious
themselves to
for a
death.
while, but
Yeah.
We can tie them
considering how
together.
long-
We
I don't
can
care
tie
if
them
it hurts
together
them when
back
they
to
wake
back
up. They
and
won't be able to kill us.
Let's
back
just
to
move
back,
on, please.
put the
And
silk
they-
line around their arms, and then they are sort of strung together, and it needs both of them to free themselves.
all right. Let me put it this way: who is carrying the filaments from the cave fishers?
Braxon, I
Higgimus.
think.
Higgimus is.
Oh, Higgimus.
Okay, Higgimus,
Yes.
are you going to tie them up? Since
No.
you have the line. Okay.
No.
Moving on.
Okay.
Damn it.
I mean,
Sounds good.
this is the thing. If the person who's holding the item says, "No, I'm not going to use this on them," that's it.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds good.
All right.
Fine.
Do you guys? So now, do you guys want to search for traps going forward, or do you want to move quickly?
I wa-
I opt to search for the trap.
Yeah, I want such traps. I don't want to have to retreat again just to heal people.
I want to search for traps because I don't want to get hit by rocks.
Yeah, we've made the experience twice now. We don't need to repeat it.
Okay.
Me and Yeldin almost had an axe to the face. Well, Yeldin almost had an axe to the face.
Mhm.
Almost, I didn't, but he doesn't want to take that chance more than once.
Okay. You carefully round the corner, and in this area, the ledge curls around, but there is another niche in the wall. This niche is unlike the other one that you saw, and before you can stop him, Urgoth is moving towards the wall, quite fascinated. The wall is studded with what appear to be the remains of perhaps gemstones. He's running his hands along the wall with interest.
Is there something special about that wall?
You gonna ask him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says,
Hey, Ergoth, what's the deal with that wall? Why are you taking such an interest in it?
"Oh, this is there was clearly some gems in this wall at one point. They've been mined. I'm just
Mined?
interested to see what there was or when this might have happened."
Maybe during the time of when dwarves were running down here? Since we've seen so many dwarven items?
Getting close, yeah, you can see that They're small chunks, very small chunks of colored stone in the wall. Looks like places where larger crystals may have been removed, or bits of not particularly valuable stone were left in the wall. And Urgoth nods. Yes, there's not much left here of value, but this was definitely
Does he
a gem cache at one point.
Does he have geology?
He's a dwarf.
Hi ho, hi ho.
Yeah. Not every
It's
dwarf,
like a-
No, yeah, right. But no, he knows enough about mining.
He's a typical dwarf.
I mean, I believe I gave him the mining proficiency, so.
Oh, believe him.
Urgoth, do you want to stop here quickly and have, or is there not enough left to even bother?
No, it's been mined out. It's just of interest. Clearly, the dwarves who built the area that we passed through earlier took this out at some point in the distant past. That's fascinating. I'm ready to move on now.
So
It's fascinating, but I'm bored now.
Well, no.
Does he
I
know
mean,
what
there's-
type of gems?
that's more like
Curiosity.
the DM saying, "Okay, let's go."
Well, no. That was me pointing out that there was nothing to actually gain from that. I mean,
Okay.
Okay.
it's been mined clear, but it was of interest to him. But there's, not
Flavor
he's
text.
he's not going to say, no guys, let's wait here for an hour. I need to look this over, kind of thing. But in
Okay.
response
Debate.
to the question about what there was, he tells you that it looks like there were some amethysts, garnets, and maybe some other things that he'd have to spend
Pearls.
time looking at. No
All
pearls.
right.
All right, you want to keep going around the corner?
Yup.
Okay.
Checking for traps.
Yeah, I was checking.
The
And
ledge
stop
curls around,
looking.
and I'll just continue on. Urgoth and Lafdul, you're in the lead, correct?
Yep.
And I'm behind him with my bow out.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna look over the ledge or look ahead of me?
I asked Rakek whether he actually senses or feels or hears his people when they're sort of camouflaged with the walls.
If I were in the lead, perhaps I could.
Okay.
Do you want him to be in the lead?
Nope.
Urgoth points out, and you notice that this is accurate, that the ledge is beginning to slope downward now.
Okay.
How likely is it for one of us to accidentally slide down? Ground give way?
No, it's pretty solid. It's stone as opposed to dirt, so it's in pretty good shape. It's not too likely to give way under you. All right, you can see now here that there are a couple pillars, close to the ledge as well. Okay, you're gonna continue around this corner.
Do those pillars, do they look like a place where there could be an ambush?
Perhaps, but they would also have to climb up the this ledge, which is now only about 6 feet tall. But still, I mean, that's not something that you would. I mean, you basically instinctually know that would not be a good place for an ambush.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm just thinking if Braxton thinks there might be an ambush, it suggests that he goes ahead.
I mean, there could be an ambush if you were down there, but it wouldn't be a good place to ambush you coming up the up that ledge.
When we look down from the ledge, like here, like here.
Yep.
Is this all we see that you're showing us now? Because down here you showed us how far we could look, and that was down here. So is this like another corridor that's leading back?
No, it's part of it is because you turned off the beacon lantern, or the bullseye lantern. So you're getting a lot less. You can still see that it's still part of the same large cavern, still filled with the large mushroom forest. But you can't see too much beyond that because of the large mushrooms and everything like that, and because you're also the slope is going down.
Okay.
But I mean, you can tell that just from the light of the mushrooms, you can tell that it goes pretty far. Even back to there, it's very indistinct, but you can see the glow of the mushrooms throughout there. Also, you can see that there's some other glow out this direction. This is pretty far away. It's a different color. It's not the bluish color of the mushrooms. There's more of a yellow glow there.
So I'm going to ask the group whether we could quickly turn off the lantern, so us elves could have a look around and see whether we can actually see some more.
Is it possible to close up the hooded lantern without turning it off, or does it have to be turned off?
I don't think the hooded lantern can be. I don't think the hooded lantern has a shutter. The bullseye lantern does, and that can be closed. So you'd have to put it out and put it back on.
Right.
But you can do that. I mean, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, I might need one of you to give me a hand relighting it. I'll put out the lantern then.
Okay. Okay. With infravision, you can see. You can only see 60 feet, but let me go ahead and see about how long that's going to be. All right.
Not bad.
So you can see from about here. Helps if I am on the right thing. That's about what you can see right now.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
Let's just keep going.
Yep.
Okay, are you gonna get that lantern back on, or did you want to? I mean, you didn't technically look like ahead with your infravision. Just to be clear.
We should probably take a look ahead with the infravision too.
Okay.
Yes, let's do that. Good idea.
All right. You can see that the ledge appears to curl around, and as you look in that direction, you notice that there is clearly something alive there, and your commotion with putting out the lantern appears to have gotten its notice.
Oh dear. Should we tell them to turn the lantern back on?
And a large lizard crawls up from this this depression here, and comes towards you. It is quite large.
Okay.
Sadly, I don't have the animal handling proficiency.
I'm gonna tell them to turn the lantern back on. I'm gonna start casting.
All right. Well,
I'm
let's
glad they
go ahead
came.
and roll some initiative then. Get the tracker come up. Now,
This would be a situation where animal handling might come in handy.
Urgoth and Lafdul are in the lead, and Higgimus and Braxon cannot see anything right now.
And I'm behind Ergoth and Lafdul with my bow out.
Okay. So Braxon or Higgimus, you either are going to be taking penalties for darkness, or you're going to have to spend the round getting the lantern relit.
Oh, I was
What?
going to say, what's my initiative score for lighting the lantern? But I'll just light the lantern if I don't have to
Yeah, we'll
roll
just roll
a hit.
1d10.
hit.
Well, actually, yeah, 1d10 plus 3.
Oh yeah, and then I light it in the appropriate part of the combat.
Yeah.
How close is it to us, by the way?
It is. I'll check in a second.
Right.
Can't be that close.
'Cause it seemed to be like a cross away from us.
So you're about right here. So it's coming towards you. It's about 30 feet away.
Okay, then my plan will still work.
How many turns is that?
It can get to you in
One turn.
the round. It depends on when it moves.
Can it attack?
Oh, hang on.
It can move and attack. Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, fine. I'll get my sword and shield ready.
Okay.
Comes at me. Why not? I haven't had melee yet. Could go disastrously, but
It
Where's
is very,
my-
very large. Just so you know.
Oh, it's very, very large.
Very,
like
very large.
Me large.
All right.
Larger than you.
Larger than me. Oh, I need to use a
Uh.
different initiative then. Apologize.
I could retreat and ask him to
I'm
pass
gonna-
me the lantern. No light it.
I'm gonna do a different initiative too in that case.
But he won't be able to see.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
could
that's why-
defend for one turn, but I'd have to do like a fight and retreat to get out of combat or something.
If you gain initiative, then you can move away.
Well, then someone else will get attacked.
Well,
Can't see.
Urgoth is up there too.
I'm
Can you see it?
gonna
Oh, you can. He's a dwarf. Isn't he?
Yeah.
and I can see just fine too, and I'm gonna go melee for this. Because it's so big, I do more damage with my swords.
If it's big enough, I could probably get around it and shoot it at a side. So I'm gonna retreat with my sword and shield. But if I manage to get away, can I change weapon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can switch to your bow at the end of the round.
I don't know what bonuses I get from my magic armor yet either.
Okay, everyone roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't show my roll.
Go ahead and edit yours then.
I
Probably
did.
You're not doing anything?
I entered 16 because that's what I rolled.
You have to click off of it.
Yeah, or push enter.
Or hit enter.
Braxton's fast today.
Yeah, Braxon's just lighting his lantern. That's his lantern light speed. I'm going to find out whether Ald's going to make me do a D20 roll.
Did you try hitting enter after you inputted the number?
I had to do it a few times to do mine manually.
Well, I think if someone else is rolling at the same time, it'll update theirs and then cancel your update. So.
Mm.
Yeah, but it should. I think they changed something because in earlier times, earlier sessions, they actually updated the number when we fixed it ourselves manually.
Well, yeah. No, I don't. Okay, what did you roll?
I just
16.
He rolled a 16.
All right, there. I updated you.
Thank you.
You're going in the same position anyway. Okay.
dear.
All right, Braxon, you are lighting your lantern, so yes, go ahead and give me a dexterity check, please.
a dex check. Right.
He's doing it in the dark, though.
Yep. But that
Ald
was
will
successful.
apply any penalties he wants to.
That was successful. All right, you managed to get your lantern lit, and so anyone, so Higgimus basically will not be suffering any penalties.
Thank you.
Whoa! What's that?
It is a very, very well. It should make for a nice, chicken-like dinner. All right, Xanfyr, go ahead.
I'm gonna be casting Wall of Fog around this thing, so it will have trouble seeing us. But it's 30 feet away, so the way it's gonna work is that I cast a Wall of Fog around it, but it's still far enough away so that the fog isn't affecting us yet, unless we run into the fog to attack it.
He
Okay.
just really wanted to cast that Wall of Fog spell.
But
hey,
it's
the only
also-
spell I have left, and it's a big enough creature to make it worth it.
Yeah, but I've still got like my bless. I haven't used it yet.
Well, I guess I can make it stretch out to the Wall of Fog is in front of us, so if it comes and tries to attack the people in front, it still has problem seeing.
Right, but either you get your people in it, or it'll be able to get out and, I mean, like, there's no
Can I
way for
put the
it to get
limit-
penalties and your melee character, your melee party
Can I
to
put a
not.
limit of the Wall of Fog right in front of us so that it would still be stuck in the Wall of Fog without
Just
being able to
walk
get
through
out
it.
and has to attack?
No, because it would be close enough to the edge that the penalties wouldn't apply.
Fine, then I'll just make it so that our melee guys are in there too. So because I still wanted to have penalties to try to hit us.
Okay. All right, let me double check something.